Hello, my dear friends, and today we start to talk about the system of cases in Russian language. And we start to talk about the prepositional case, or case number 6. Why should we start to talk about case number 6, the last one in the system of cases? Because the forms of the prepositional case are the most simple, and also we have more situations and more structures. When can we use the nouns in the prepositional case? So, what will we learn today? As a result of this part of our course, you will know how to say, for example, where are you from, or where do you live, work, study. Anyway, we will talk about meaning of place, meaning of location, and our main question is where. So, for expressing this meaning, we need to use spatial form, spatial grammar form. Also, you will know how to say what are you thinking, dreaming, talking, maybe writing or reading about. It's like object of thoughts. Let's say it like this. And also, you will know how to tell about different kinds of transport you use for going to work, for example, and so on. How to say, for example, to go by taxi, I go somewhere by bus, by car, and so on. So all these situations, all these structures are related to case number 6. But first, I'd like to show you the whole system of cases in Russian language. So we have 6 cases. First one is the nominative case. Actually, you already know the forms of these nouns. Every time when we ask the questions like «Кто это?», «Что это?», and when we try to answer them, we use the nominative case. Like «Кто это?», «Это мой друг». «Кто это?», «Это Анна». «Что это?», «Это дом». «Что это?», «Это машина». All these forms, like the very first forms, are forms of the nominative case. Next one is the genitive case. Next case is the dative case, the accusative case, the instrumental case, and the prepositional case. Or we can just say the numbers of these cases. In many Russian books, I mean textbooks, we can just mention the number of this case, so you don't need to memorize all these names, you just need to know the number. And when I want to show you this structure, this grammar construction, I can just mention the number of this case. So the prepositional case, it's the most simple and the most common in our everyday speaking. So as I already told you, we need to change every noun. We don't say книга, 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 друг, друг, друг. So we have spatial forms for every case. And if we're talking about the prepositional case, first we will talk about meanings or structures. When can we use, in which situations can we use nouns in the prepositional case? Our main questions. And of course, I want to show you some examples. So first you need to understand the situation, like what exactly do you want to say, or if you want to describe the situation, what are you talking about? About location, about your place where do you want to go, meaning of possession, that this thing belongs to you, for example. For all these situations, you need to use spatial form of noun. So, and now we are going to talk about meanings. So, the prepositional case, as you already know, I told you about it, it has 3 situations, I mean 3 main constructions. When can we use these forms? So, first one, we use this form if we are talking about the place or location. Of course, our main question is where. In Russian it will sound like где. Где. I want to show you some examples. В Москве на улице. В Москве на улице. Look please at the name of this case, the prepositional case. So it means that for all forms of nouns we need to use any preposition. It cannot be just noun. For example, in this for these words we use prepositions v and na. V and na. A little later I will explain you what's the difference and which preposition should you use for this noun, for example. Next meaning is the object of speech or the object of thoughts. And our main questions will sound like о ком, о чем. О ком, you see, if we're talking about person, about animal, you use this question. What, о ком, if you're talking about animate nouns. And о чем, if you're talking about some objects or you use any inanimate nouns. For example, о друге, о фильме. О друге, о фильме. Like about friend, about movie. So, here you use preposition о. And the last meaning is meaning of transport. And you can ask the question like this. На чем? На чем? For example, на машине. I go to St. Petersburg. I go to this place by car. By car will sound like на машине. На машине. If you look at these examples, you see that we need to transform these nouns. We don't say Москва, улица, друг, фильм, машина, as we did before. All these nouns have the last letter «е». В Москве, на улице, о друге, о фильме. I told you that every case have spatial form. I mean, you need to change this noun, to transform it. So, and now, of course, let's talk about grammar forms. As I already told you, this part of grammar is very simple, and actually the last letter, the ending, doesn't depend on gender. I just want to give you some examples separately. So for masculine, for these nouns, you just need to add the letter «е». You see, if it's masculine, usually the last letter is just consonant, like дом, дом, and you just need to add «е», доме. If you want to say, for example, in house, in the house, you will say в доме. About prepositions I will talk a little later. Now let's concentrate on forms of nouns. Доме with the ending «е». Feminine. The letter «а» should be replaced with «е». «Я» should be replaced with «е» again. So you see, we need to use the same ending. For example, сумка, сумке. If you want to say in a bag, for example, you will say в сумке. В сумке. Сумке. Please be careful, you need to delete the last letters. For feminine, I mean. «А» and «я» should be deleted, and instead of them, you use «е». Not «сумка-е», right? Instead of «а», you use «е». Сумка, сумке. Сумка, сумке. And neutral. The letter «о» should be replaced with «е». And nouns, neutral, which have the last letter «е», just don't change. For example, окно, окне. Окно, окне. Again, instead of «о», which is deleted, we need to say «е», not окноe, right? The last letter is only one vowel. «О» should be deleted. Окно, окне, like if you want to say on the window, на окне, окне. This form of noun will sound like this. And there are some exceptions. For example, Now we will talk about feminine, about these nouns. If the last letter is soft sign and this noun is feminine, it's она, in the form of prepositional case, you should delete the last letter, soft sign. Instead of it, you should say и, like площадь, площади, площадь, площади. So, we don't say it's in another way. We don't say this word with the letter ye, right? You just need to memorize feminine, only feminine, with the last letter soft sign will have ending e in the form of case 6. Площадь, площади, square, for example, on the square. You will say like this, площади, площади. It's only for feminine. If you're talking about masculine, you know that they also can have the last letter soft sign. For example, словарь, dictionary, right? So it's not like an exception. These words again will have the last letter ye, like other words. Словарь, словарие. In dictionary, в словаре, you will say like this. So this rule works only for feminine. Soft sign should be replaced with e. For masculine, as usual, you will use the letter ye.